Hi everyone, John here. So I recorded commentary for this fight because this fight sucks. I mean, if you fight it the normal way. There's actually a cheese way where you can just deny their turns by paralyzing them for the before they reach their 80% mark. And then if you have someone like Lightning, you can just delay them until the fight's over. But I decided to take this fight on uh, the way it was intended. So, like orbs, auras, have the enemy fight you, and all in all. So, okay, I'll comment on my first move right there. Uh, Kimahri at this point is basically he's the dedicated EX button and poison of the team. So, the thing about this part is the opening attacks of the bosses are they first start with a single target attack, no damage, no HP damage done, but their immediate next action is an AOE HP attack, which in my countless reruns of this, I've done about more than 10, less than 20, I guess. What happens is you won't die. You'll survive this as long as you're not broken. So yeah, there. With Firion healing us on the off turns, we'll be fine. This will leave us at around 5k, I believe. Ooh, less. Ouch. Okay, so that's the safest way for me to activate my Leviathan's Blessing. Speaking of which, my team composition for this was basically the idea that their defense is huge. They expect you to use Exdeath's self-battery based damage and gravity effects to get through the fight. So I tried the alternative route and just batteried myself up while just having my dodge unit, which is Kimahri in this case. So the first thing that you're going to notice is, we're about to come up on it, is after 10 actions in the fight, they will activate their counter aura, which is they'll start glowing yellow, and once it's there, they move themselves a turn back, so you'll have time to react to it. But they'll move themselves a turn back, and once they arrive at that point, they will deal a very powerful Brave HP attack that will probably just kill anyone that it hits. So the solution here is to either find a way to deny the damage with someone like Beatrix, Exdeath, Reno, or dodge it like Kimahri does. So in addition to that, the reason why I popped Kimahri's EX that early is because I have to get it up and running for this point, right here. So if you noticed, I was targeting B because every time so far, A will always be the first one to receive the counter break effect. But I want to take two birds with one stone and have them do that and dodge their auger attack. So I focused all of my attention on B to get them there really fast. So if you noticed, I critical crushed with Cloud prior to that. Mostly because I get pixel trolled a lot by that point in time. Because if B does it, you basically have to reset, and because he's gonna get the counter break aura, and you're gonna be in danger because you have no means to dodge it or survive it. So if you saw that, B just did its auger attack. It did nothing. A is about to do its own version of it. So after they do their auger attack, they immediately do that radiant shade attack, which is, at this point in the fight, if you eat two of those in a row, you're gonna die. So I have to resort to paralyzing one of them. I forget which one I target here. Oh, speaking of which, I recorded this after I already finished the run, so this is a post-editing thing actually. So at this point, well, yeah, 2 turns left on the Bad Breath debuff. Speaking of which, the orb condition for this fight is actually to have a sap or a poison on the enemy, and so it's designed to have the enemy take turns. So along with that, low turn counts, meaning you're gonna have to deal a lot of off-turn damage to compensate. So that's why units like Firion or Exdeath are really good here, because they deal damage on the enemy turns. Ouch. So yeah, plain and simple, can't take 2 of those in a row, even if it didn't break Cloud. So it's still on its counter break aura, so it's... Kimahri should have EX. Yes, he does. Okay. There. Okay, we're safe. So we're safe from B's like murder attack. I have to do a single target attack because if I break B, it's going to do its counter attack. Fun interaction though. If you have like a blind on them and you break them with their counter aura up, you won't die, but they still manage to heal themselves after the attack. So it heals about between 4 to 6% in my experience. So yeah, you definitely don't want to break them during this fight. So as for Cloud's EX, since it's AoE, I have to watch it as well because it's solely relegated just to keep up his regen buff and his Embrave buff. As for Firion, I think this might be a good time. Yeah, it was a good time to reapply his LD buff at this point. So now I have to be very careful. A has its true blindness on, so I can just focus on targeting B. Problem is, B is about to do its Radiant Shade thing again, so this one's gonna hurt. Unless they tag out. Cancel break counter. Okay, so they don't tag out. So I'm gonna eat this. It's gonna be very painful. Yep. Yeah. So you definitely can't eat 2 of those anymore. So since they're both off their counter aura, it's a safe time for Cloud to just delay them with an AoE attack. I don't know if the counter aura appears every 10 turns, because there's an overlap between when that happened last time and this time, so I'm not sure about how to confirm it. Okay, so Firion's a very strong EX. Like, he has a strong EX attack. And it's very useful in this fight actually, because pretend one of them is in their Augur aura, so reduce damage, and while the other one isn't, you can actually just like deal 99999 to both of them if you hit them. So he has very consistent EX damage, is what I'm trying to say. So we are about to hit. Yeah, this is gonna hurt. Ouch. So let's see, how do I survive this? Ah yes, good old RNG. So yeah, I got lucky in this run apparently. Also, when I did this run, I was very sleepy, which you'll see later when I do the burst phase. I was very like, I don't know, shenanigans for hours. So at this point, I'm debating that I don't want them to hit the 50% phase just yet, so I'm going to be targeting A to try and like bridge the 20% gap I just built up. So I open with Lightning's Crushing Blow. After that, I go into her burst attack to get her aura up, because, at least in my opinion, I believe Lightning is Cloud's best burst like aura to be paired with. Mostly because of her extra HP damage up. It's really, the damage is really obscene when he does Omni Slash version 5. It goes from the usual 300k to like a solid 500k from the sheer HP damage up alone. So what I do now after is, I'm trying to minimize Lightning's turn jumping abilities, so I'm just going to be using her Spark Strike and here her HP plus. And see that she still jumps actually. Luckily not enough, but now I have to really go into burst with Cloud. So for Cloud's burst phase, Dystopia actually created his optimal damage burst routine, which is you need to have like a free skill use prior, which will allow you to use about three finishing touches. Yeah, 3 finishing touches. But my main issue with that is it requires that you're a launch-oriented team. So you need to have like Kais or Kryl with you to battery the team prior to the launch. Otherwise, you'll be doing what I do here. I have to brave attack in between each launch cycle, so it's not optimal in damage-wise. What I'm doing here is banking on Cloud's utility. So I did the first finishing slash, and now I'm going to launch the other one with my cross slash plus. So what's going to happen here is I still have an extra finishing touch on me, so I'll use that finishing touch, and by the time I exit the burst phase, I already have another cross slash plus set up, so I can paralyze again without having to like set up like a turn before. After beyond that, it's pretty much oh, there's the blooper reel. I was like, wait, did I HP attack in mid launch without any Now, okay. Meteoring on the other one. I also personally like this rotation more because it utilizes everything in his kit, like without having to rely on free skill uses. I know that's like it's more optimal on Noctis in my opinion. So I throw it on B for some reason. Oh yeah, because I was expecting that with A paralyzed, he won't go into break counter phase just yet. So once we exit the phase, I'm going to be like wailing on him more than B. So I made the most of my damage output at that point. So they have Augur now. Hopefully I have Kimahri's Blind ready. And at this point, I almost killed my run, but with the orb count at 8. Especially with what I'm about to do next, because I use Army of 1 with Lightning here, sending A back alongside B. Yeah, I really gambled here, but it was really clutch, as you'll see in the next few turns. So for this next part, Firion comes back. Honestly, it's like he never left with how fast Lightning just came and went. So at this point, I prefer to just like use single target attacks because I'm not gonna be doing damage on B anyway, so Vortex of Arms is like useless here. Okay, we have Nova up, but I don't use it just yet because I didn't check if I had the Bad Breath debuff, so I just reapplied it just to be safe. Either way, Kimahri has another move up and ready anyway, which in retrospect, it would have been more optimal if I just let him like do it anyway. Like it would have charged the EX faster. But anyway, wow, 660k each, that's still pretty good. Brave Regen is really strong on this team, especially in high defense teams where you have to like play around it. So at this point, I keep Brave plussing with Firion because it has better battery than his skill 1. Unless you pair it with Rude. Otherwise, it's everything he does is like an amazing battery. Especially the counter. So here it comes. It's going to miss. Alright. Speaking of which, I forgot to go into the idea of my call ability choices. I have a secret weapon for Cloud, which I'll be getting to in a bit, but I chose Exdeath for Firion just in case like Kimahri's too far behind or he had to use Blind and I don't have any kind of like poison or sap at the ready. So at this point, A is too far away for me to worry about it just yet. And in retrospect, if I did what I said earlier and used Nova and Bad Breath, I'd actually be able to like blind them again at this point. But anyway, it's fine. Everything turned out okay. So here's an example of how good Weapon Master is. Like right here and there. Boom. Double full cap damage. Even with the other one having like an insane amount of brave reduction. I'm not in it for the shave at this point. I'm just dealing like damage because it's not in my playstyle for this fight. All I need to do is like dodge. So Kimahri should have... Nope, no Nova yet. So I can see here that Kimahri doesn't have Nova yet. So I have to like delay A just by a turn. And to do that, I see Cloud is in between B and A, so he can actually cross / plus. Which is something I actually saved from... So at this point, I believe I just HP +++ again for free battery. Yeah, so basically I'm very paranoid here. I'm just trying to keep Cloud alive and make sure the team doesn't get broken. Luckily only Cloud was hit for that one, so we're kind of safe. Okay, he has cross / plus. We're going to delay the A for a bit. He gets poison, bring up the orb counter. And then now it's actually safe for us to blind. This also brings up something I clearly remember from this fight, which kind of really annoyed me. Pay attention to what B does in its next turn. I also forget that I have to upkeep the Blood Weapon Plus because it's not really a strong one. Oh yeah, I also called in Exdeath because this is actually like the safest time for me to do it. Like the orb count is high, they have an immediate action coming up. Okay, check out what B does here. Yeah, it doesn't care. It's just gonna do an HP attack when it has high enough eye rave. And it has insane amounts of regen, so it's almost like a guarantee that you're gonna eat HP attacks that will kill you by the end of the fight. So this fight really sucks by the end. Okay, B has the counter break now, so we can start focusing on A, but... Yeah, so that was my that's my secret weapon call. I have the edge call to just like have an emergency dodge button on us. So basically it'll I don't know, it'll target Cloud obviously, and it'll miss because Cloud still has the call ability for the next 3 turns. Even if he is going to use it in the next, he'll be wasting one of those turns really soon. Okay, Weapon Master again. Really love that skill. But I think at this point... Yeah, okay, never mind. At this point I realized I was like, did I actually refresh the Vortex of Harm's buff? Because at this point my brain's just like, I'll be safe from whatever they throw at me, so I'll be fine. Then here I'm just like going for broke on an RNG Paralyze because this thing's gonna hurt. You'll see. Yeah, that would have killed Kimahri if it hit Cloud. But luckily I had the edge call, so I'm alive for this one. So yeah, dodge again. I believe they're gonna tag out. Oh, they don't. Neat. So yeah, it took me a while to realize that I didn't Blood Weapon up yet. So I tried healing first. And then when I checked up above, then I realized, I'm missing a buff. So I popped the summon here just because I was like, I'm at this point in the fight. They're already below red. And I made it without using the summon this far. I think this is the win run. So I'm just gonna like throw everything at them in the summon phase. So like my last white win. I also throw Cloud's Blade Beam again because B is the first thing to act once we exit summon, so I'm like, yeah, that ain't happening. Next is, I believe... Yeah, I refreshed the Blood Weapon at this point. Okay. Kimahri has blind, but I'm not going to use it just yet. Mostly because I'm saving it for out, since Kimahri already has a turn at the ready, right when we're outside of the burst phase. So at this point, I'm just like trying to whittle down A to match up with B's HP threshold. Okay. Now... Okay, yeah. So in terms of battery in the team, Firion's skill 2 and HP plus are his best options. The LD is good too, but you're using that to upkeep the debuff, not to battery the team. But if you have no other option, it's a good pick. So yeah, this thing will kill us if I didn't put that up, because by the end of the fight, any HP attack they do is probably going to kill you, whether it's single target or AoE. So I believe I decide to Meteor Rain at this point because I noticed that my Mako buff was at 1. And I need that buff to keep up my damage because I'm not shaving in this team. I believe here, yeah, we have Weapon Master up. I kind of gambled here because I didn't know if it would break the other one. Luckily, we're hitting really low, which is kind of ironic considering. So we're at the end of the fight. I just burned my last Mighty Guard and Bad Breath just to like make sure I have a poison up, because I'm really bad at keeping an eye on my debuff counts. Okay, that breaks Firion. Yeah, I check here if it still has the blind debuff, which it does, so I'm like, I will paralyze B because he's going to kill someone. Okay, missed. And the break cancel counter. It doesn't shift over to B because it's paralyzed. The funny thing about this, yeah, I remember this part. So yeah, it gets the break counter, but it's dead. So yeah, we get to the last part, which is the enrage. And I've tried doing it while it was enraged. I ran out of turns even with this team. I mean, we could survive the attack it through, but yeah, it kind of it gets really tanky. Like, check out how much Kimahri is going to do in his next attack. Yep, I dipped below the thousands. That's how bad the enrage is. So now I'm going to use my last Blade Beam, and I believe that's going to end the fight with Firion's LD. Yeah, there it is. Yep. So So thanks for watching. I really just wanted to like show that this fight is doable, but it is a headache to do it. So if you have the cheese units available, I do not blame you. This fight is rough. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.